Om Vang me manasi pratisthita mano me vachi pratishtitam aviravirma edi vedasyama ani stha shrutam me ma prahasi anena dhitena horatran samdadhami ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmamavatu tadvaktaram avatu mam avatu vaktaram avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. There is an interesting insight in this protect me, protect the speaker. Sometimes there is a situation when the protection is needed because this knowledge is such a sacred and unique and luminous, and if the speaker is exposed to the influence of hostile forces, then the knowledge can be damaged, or its effect can be abused or misused. And so in this case, it is the request to feel and to protect the speaker of these verses. It is only through the speaker that these forces, anti-divine forces or hostile forces, can enter and damage the text. There is no other way for them to damage it. So the speaker has to be protected. So let's start with the first verse. Huvevach sudyot manam suvriktim vishamagnimatithim suprayasam mitraivayo didhishayo bhut deva adeve janejata vedah. I call to you the fire with his strong delights and his splendors of light. Fire who strips all sin from us, the guest of the peoples, who becomes like a supporting friend, who becomes the God who knows all things born in man, with whom are the gods, or in all from man to the gods, who knows all from man to the gods. So this is Sri Aurobindo's translation. My interpretation: I call your shining and perfect force of expression of consciousness found in all who entered this world, Agni, our guest, who is of perfect bliss, who, like the divine consciousness measuring all out, is supporting all. God in all creatures born who are turned towards the gods, Jata Vedas. So here there are few possibilities to translate, a few options. Huvevach, I call your Sudyotmanam, so to say, shining one, Suvriktim. Sudyotmanam Suvriktim, Suriktim, perfect expression in the word, perfect expression of consciousness, whose self is light, whose self is perfect light, that expression of consciousness I invoke of yours, of those who entered into the Visham, into this manifestation, souls who entered into this manifestation, of them, the Agni, the guest, the most perfectly beloved one, or the one who has the perfect bliss, him I invoke, who is like the Mitra, the divine consciousness, Mitrach Iva, this is not Mitram, although in the Veda Mitrach in masculine also can be friend, rarely, but usually Mitra is the god, Mitra, the divine consciousness. As the divine consciousness, who Yah, did he Shayach, who is the supporting all, or who wishes to support all, or who is wishing to establish all. Yes, Deva Adeve Janejata Vedach, the God who is towards the, in the creature who is towards the gods. Very complex expression. In the creature whose nature is towards the gods, he is Jata Vedas. He is the one who knows all the beings born. So maybe knowing all reincarnations even can be translated. The one who knows the whole lineage of reincarnation of the soul in the being, in the creature who is born here, who is turned towards the divine, or who is seeking the divine manifestation in him. So I'm kind of unfolding word by word. So it should be understood when we read this translation only one time. I call to you the fire with his strong delights and his splendors of light. I call to you the fire. I call to you the fire with his strong delights and his splendor of light. Fire who strips all sins from us. That's how Sri Aurobindo translates suvrikti, interesting. Not surikti, but like rich, because it has two different readings. Vrikti is to pluck out, to remove the thing. Yes, so he says in his Savitri, to pull out the roots and to these bleeding roots of desire, yes, hiding in the depth, and to offer the vacant place to the gods. So basically, this is this plucking out the deeply rooted desires of in the inconscient. Yeah? But suvriktim, perfectly plucking out, or who strips all sins from us. That's how he found the way to say it in English. I think it is rather really su-rikti, yes, where v is introduced as sandhi, but could be reading of suvrikti, yes, vrikti is vrich, root to pluck out. So two readings are possible. Sri Aurobindo chooses this one. I'm choosing the other one just to make it more, how to say, vast in interpretation. I call you your shining and perfect force of expression of consciousness. This is suvriktim, yeah? Perfect force of expression of consciousness, because rich Rig Veda is this luminous word, luminous expression of consciousness in the word, in him, in this, in manifestation, in this embodied state of consciousness. If you think about the word, it's quite interesting. I'm speaking the word, and the word comes into this time and space in a very non-material form. Yes, there is no matter of it, so to say, and still it sounds. It produces an effect. It comes in. It is alive. It can be written. Written is already material form. It has a sound. Sound is a material form. But it carries consciousness. It's not the sound what is important per se. It is the meaning which it carries with it. Yeah? So this immaterial word which comes into the material world as an expression of consciousness can be perfect. Expression of perfect consciousness, suvrekti, which has its own Atman, its own Tman. Tman is another word for Atman. Later on, the Atman in the Veda it is Tman as the self, whose self Tman is Dyotman, who has the light of the self, perfect light of self, yeah? Who is the perfect being with perfect expression. So Dyotmanam suvriktim, with perfect being and perfect consciousness. I call your perfect expression with perfect being self of Agni, of the guest, of the peoples, of all those souls who entered into this manifestation, Visham, Suprayasam, whose bliss, whose love is perfect. He is like the divine consciousness, Mitraiva, who is here to establish all, Didhishayo Bahut, who is here to manifest all, let us say. The God in the creature born here, who is turned towards the divine, the one who knows all the reincarnations of the being. So this is the picture. I'm going back and forth, just dwelling on it, making it more and more tangible to us, because these matters are usually very elusive. They go away easily. Yeah? No? Okay, next. Imam Vidhantah Apam Sadhasthe Dvitadadhuh Bhargavo Vikshu Ayoh Esha Vishvani Abhi Astu Bhuma Devanam Agnih Aratih Jirashvah. The Bhrigus, worshipping in the session of the waters, set him a twofold light in the peoples of man. May he master all planes prevailing vastly. Fire the traveler of the gods with his rapid horses. Imam Vidantach, worshipping whom worshipping Apam Sadhaste, in the place where all the waters stay together, literally. Sadha, together, stha, staying, in the place Sadhaste, in the station of the waters, Apam Sadhaste, of the cosmic waters. You know? Dvita. Dvita can be translated as twofold, yeah? Or Dvita Ayoh, and that's how Sri Aurobindo put it. Set him as a twofold light in the peoples of man. Ayuh is the force of life, yeah? I translate a bit differently, Dvita, but I'm taking it from dictionary. Doubtly, you see, doubtly, just so maybe, they do not know what Dvita. Dvita has to be really twofold, you know, Dvita, Trita, Dvita. These are words used in the Veda. But here they cannot reconcile it, and that's why they leave this meaning in the dictionary. Especially, certainly, and so on. You know? By all means, so to say, from two ends, kind of inclusive, from whatever point of view it is that, so they kind of develop this new meaning. But truly speaking, Sri Aurobindo follows literally Dvita, yes? Set him a twofold light, as if there is no light mentioning here, but he says the twofold Adadhu, they set him, they established him double, Bhargavo, Vikshu, in the peoples who entered into manifestation, Ayoh, of the life force. Of the life force in the people, the Bhrigus established him as double, as twofold, literally.
What are the twofold? Sorry, Vladimir, I didn't understand this twofold. Why twofold? What are the two?
Yeah, we spoke about this extensively on the Agni, that there are two Agnis, yes? One is in the heart and other
Yes.
in the
Okay.
nature,
Okay,
rising.
got it. Yes. I wasn't making the connection, so I was wondering how twofold, but now it makes sense.
Right. It totally makes sense. And it's also twofold, could be even something more than even this. You can think of Dvipad, and Dvipad is also twofold, you know, of two stations or two foundations. And there are two major foundations. One is in the heart, and other is above the head. And there are two selves in us. One is the Jivatma, and the other is Antaratma. Antaratma is projection of Jivatma, which actually constitutes the human being. Human being is major, this connection, the connection to the divine, the soul, the Son of God, yes? We are this, we are that, what is reincarnating and building up the mental, vital, physical being. Mental, vital, physical being is composed from the elements of nature, but the twofold is the direct intrusion of the divine into the manifestation and building around itself the whole being, the body, the universe. And that Chatushpad is that what is being built by this intrusion, yes? It is physical, vital, mental, and supramental being. is being built by this intrusion, as it were. Yeah? So we have Dvipad and Chatushpad, Dvipade, Chatushpade, Shamyo. This is usually the statement of the Veda, which Sri Aurobindo actually gives us a key to understand. Without his explanation, we would never even guess. We would translate Dvipad as a human being and Chatushpad as an animal. But in a way, even a human being and animal is fitting for this interpretation. Human being is major the soul, and animal is that part of nature which we inherited from nature. So that is our animality which we are dealing with. So it could be also this, that he is doubled in a sense that there is the source of the divine as Agni, and there is the him as immortal among mortals. He entered into this, and slowly built up to presence in the nature, which turned to be the spark around which the soul developed.
Mm. So the
So,
Bhrigus, it is because of the Bhrigus worshipping Agni that this happened.
yeah, in the source of the cosmic waters. So
Yes,
from
that's what I wanted. Source of the cosmic waters, he was brought down by the Bhrigus.
him they worship in the source of the cosmic waters, yes, and double they establish him in the
Okay.
peoples as we can say, or of the vital force or the force of life. The force of life
Mm,
depends on this fire. Yeah,
mm,
we don't think about life. We think that it can be without this source, without the fire in it. It's not possible. Yes,
mm,
if the soul would not enter into this manifestation, life would not be possible in general.
mm.
Life is the result of it. Yes, Nidhi, you're muted.
Just a little thought. One thing, when we say IO, it could be the coming of. It might not be only life. It's just what I just right now realized. And another thing I feel,
And how do you translate Ayuh as the coming?
so
Just
yeah, just the thought came, like just a line of Savitri resonated just right now. So I thought I'll share. Like when we say, like, from the sun we kindle our suns. So when we are saying twofold, it could be the higher sun, the divine sun up there, and then we are lighting. I don't know. It's just right now it came to me, so I thought I'll share.
okay. Well,
But
this is the higher and lower sun is also possible. Yes, absolutely. The involved and uninvolved, which is becoming the Dvipad later in our sense. Yes, yeah.
and IO might be just coming of the higher, like from there the fire comes within us.
Oh, yeah, like life force is that, yeah,
Mhm.
as the coming Ayuh. You're translating now Ayurveda, Ayuh as coming. As truly speaking, yes, it is even interpreted by Yaska as something which is coming, yes, or which is sought to be, because Ayuh, yes. Which is kind of applying itself, or which is, as you say, coming, because you, it can be translated in two different ways. As you, there is a root you, yes, which wants to unite, to connect, and I is the prefix, definitely prefix. So towards union, yeah, towards connection. So this arrival is the sense of arrival. The life force arrived, yeah, to this dead world. and made it alive. It entered, it animated the matter. It made it alive with its anima. Interesting. Ayohi is the genitive case here. Or can be also the ablative or genitive singular from ayuh. This Yelizarenkova in Russian does not even translate ayuh. Just leave it ayu because it's difficult to translate. Life force, of the life force. Nevertheless, the Bhrigus, the Bhargavas, the original rishis, they worshipped him in the source of the cosmic waters and established double him in the peoples, in the souls who entered into manifestation of the life force, as a part of the life force or belonging to the life force, which generates their movement, their life, their breath. Interestingly, that we are actually animated by this force. We live. This body lives. This matter lives. Lives, eats, grows, thinks, and evolves, it develops, progresses. It's because of him inside, giving this living force to us. Esha Vishwani Abhi Astu Bhuma, interesting continuation. And he, this one, should master all the planes, prevailing vastly. That means there is something which is to be done, which is resisting this. It's not that he is everywhere already the master. He has still to master. It's very similar to what was in the Isha Upanishad. Isha Vasyam. All this idam sarvam has to be inhabited by the Lord, is to be inhabited, will be inhabited, and is not yet inhabited. So he is one who intruded into, was put by the Bhrigu Rishis into the people, into the souls who entered. He should prevail over all the planes, over all the foundations. Divanam Agni, Agni of the gods, Aratich, the traveler of the gods, Jira Ashok, moving swiftly or with his rapid horses. Yes, this
And
quote.
we have to thank the Bhrigus for doing this.
Yeah, Bhrigu is interesting word also if you analyze it.
I thought it was the divine who inhabited with his will and knowledge and power. But now the Bhrigus seem to be taking the credit, like they worshipped and they brought him into man to fold.
These are the divine rishis, yes. Rishis are the sons of Brahma, of the creator of this universe. They are these forces, or sons means forces, or aspects, or faculties, if you will, functions of the creator. Similar, like Adityas are the sons of Aditi, but they are the functions of Aditi. Same Bhrigus, and Bhrigu, interesting, it's from Bhrij, to burn, to flame. They are flaming powers. And we spoke not once about Angirasa and Bhrigu Bhargava. There is a kind of different position. So Bhargavas are older, because of this. Bhrigu is the son of Varuna, as we read in Taittiriya. They were first here to do the sacrifice in the matter, in the natures. They were first who offered the soma yagas. And from here, these ideas of Purusha sacrifice and the animal sacrifices, because the nature was offered to the divine, yes? Nature itself. Physical, vital, mental body is offered to the divine. We are still doing it in the mental and vital sense. We offer our thoughts, we offer our deeds, we offer our feelings to the divine. So this is the ancient way of offering. And
So right there is the connection. If Brigus are the flaming powers, then they are always offering to that fire, that flame, which is, and since fire was the first god who came down into this manifestation, and therefore there's this connection with Brigu.
Yeah. Sri Aurobindo even says that Bhrigu are the solar powers, original, even that, in this secret of the Veda. Of course, we are all here representatives of these cosmic powers. We understand that we can't be something else. Yeah, we think that they are somewhere else, they are those cosmic powers, and we are something else. No, we are the embodiment of their work, and their presence is in us. They located in twofold him in all those who entered into manifestation, Vikshu. Yeah? And we are the Vish. We are those who entered. We are the peoples who entered. In us, they located the flame which they worshipped, notice, in the source of the cosmic waters. This, of course, it's very great, very high knowledge. Cosmic waters, the source Agni, they worship the flaming powers, worshipping him and establishing it in the souls of those who enter into manifestation. It's like a mission of some kind, as if in the cosmic waters there was made an intention by the divine to send this messenger, to send this force to enter, to plunge into the darkness, because Agni is the first avatar who plunged, who dared to come into the darkness, to transform it, to illumine it. So this force is established in all of us because we are kind of dragged by this force down to do the work. So the work of the sacrifice, of the transformation. That's what is happening to us. We are constantly working on ourselves. Did you notice it? The moment we fall back, we are not happy. We want to proceed forward. We don't want to fall back for a little bit, yes, kind of resting from the moving forward. But the moment the resting time is over, we want to move forward again. Nobody wants to stay backward. Nobody wants to regress. Nobody at all. Neither in animal kingdom nor in human. Amazing. So this force is really acting. It was established by the Bhrigus within our souls. So we don't need, even if we resist, it will push us forward. It will consume everything what resists. So Try to resist. Try to be normal and see what happens. Nothing will happen. You will move forward. That's why we judge those who do not want to progress. We judge them because they seemingly don't want to progress. They're just pausing, or they're just falling backward. Yeah, they are becoming the food for the others, for nature, for the lower forces. But that's why we are so judgmental about those who do not progress, who do not work on themselves, and so on.
That's a very nice way of looking at it, because you're so right. There's an inner discomfort when we judge another, but that discomfort is arising from this thought that why isn't this person seeing the light? What is stopping them? Why are they stopping themselves? It arises actually from there, the concern that they should move forward. You're so right. I've never thought of it before. And
Yeah.
even in ourselves, we judge ourselves whenever we fall back. We get critical of ourselves. It
Yeah.
is precisely, I think, what you just said, because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, only because of that force inside. And did you notice that when we did something which is extra, which we didn't do before, we feel that we spent our day properly. This was not
Yes,
a wasted time.
yes,
But the
very
moment
true.
we didn't do this in the day, we feel like we are wasting our time.
Mm.
Our life is kind of falling, regressing. It's what Mother says, it's to be ever young. And this is the ever young force in us, yeah? Immortal force. To be ever young, you have to constantly progress and never to be satisfied with what you achieved. Because when the moment you are satisfied, you start decaying, dying. The moment we are satisfied with what we have, what we achieved, we start falling back. This is the force. Whether we know it or about it or not, yes, does not change the situation.
But it helps to know. It helps to know, then you can prevent that from happening consciously, you know. We
Right.
fall, yeah, then consciously you can prevent that. Otherwise, we just unconsciously, just keep falling every time and beating ourselves up and then getting up and doing a little bit more and then falling, all unconsciously. But if we were conscious of this, that this is why we have this, then we are constantly with that enthusiasm. We don't fall into that sense of ennui, boredom and
Absolutely.
lethargy.
Absolutely. If we want to be truly happy, if we want, to be happy, even not truly, simply happy, we have to accept our nature of this ever-advancing pilgrim. Yeah, what Veda says, a man is an ever-advancing pilgrim, a transitional being. We have to move forward. We are always on the journey. If we accept that, we will be truly happy.
Yes.
Happiness depends on this progress only and nothing else. Not what you have. The moment you have everything, every possible joy and pleasure in life, if you don't progress, you become so unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
And you may have very little or nothing and progress, and you will be happy.
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah? It's not in what you have, but what you do with your life.
Yes, possessions don't count.
Yeah, well, they are helpful. They help you to do more if you are progressing, yes? And if you are not, then they are blocking you, basically. To have less than needed is always good, yeah? There is even the whole this idea of the divine is removing from you extras to
Yes.
let you find the real flame of progress. Yes.
He's
Because
done that big time in my life.
so you are chosen. Mm.
Kept it a little less than full so that I keep progressing.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah, it gives you an opportunity to grow. Otherwise, we become lazy and fall back. If we have everything taken care of, I was thinking about my life in this regard. I never had anything in my life, 5,000 rupees a month, and that was hardly possible to manage for 27 years in Auroville. But the life was full of meaning. Yeah? And I can't forget that sense of presence. Yeah. So it wasn't a wrong life; it was a right life. Yeah? Although nothing was in your possession, and now I am given everything, but interestingly given as a comforts for the physical being, but not given as yours. Yes, given to use.
Yes.
And I don't have feeling that it is mine. And in that
Yes.
sense, I am safe.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that's actually the best feeling, the best way to be, because when you have things, then you have to think about them, and they weigh on your mind. And even the necessary things weigh on your mind. And it's like to live as a monk is, I think, the most ideal way to live. It's the greatest sense of freedom. And I know, when I had my business and so on, there was a time when if I needed or wanted something, I could pretty much buy whatever I wanted or needed. And yet at that time, I was the most ill at ease. There was an angst in my life. And so I asked God to give me enough trouble in my life so that I didn't feel that. And that happened.
Yeah, it
You
happens.
gotta be careful what you ask for.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm looking at very rich people who have everything, who should never worry ever. But they worry. They worry more than me, even. Yeah.
Yes.
So they think so that wealth is also causing them trouble. That it demands attention. It demands
Yes.
their life. Concentration of their consciousness. So they are not free to shift it where they should shift it and look into themselves. So they are busy with things which are not them, and that creates in them anxiety. Because they are not busy with their own life. They are busy with things which they're kind of fulfilling the function of nature, not fulfilling the function of the soul, as it were. Not fully, partially. Of course, everything is partial here. We don't speak in absolute terms. But that's why many times you see these people on the streets in India. I was always wondering about this. When you see this, people having nothing at all, living on the street with, hardly anything. And they laugh and they smile. And there's such a sincere smile and sincere unhappiness. And everything is so easy to them, so difficult physical, but so different in terms of, like that film which we watched, the meals already. Something of the kind, there is no pulling you away from what you are. That's why Mother didn't want in our will to have many possessions. She wanted us to have a comfortable place to stay, yeah, because of, but small place, not big, because otherwise you have to take care of the physical things. They demand care, and she says it must be given to them. You know, it has to be consciously dealt with. So, but then time-wise, you will spend all your time for your house. Your house will become more important than anything else.
Mm.
You live for your house, not your house is for you. Not to bring this very sharp, because some of you may feel that I'm throwing stone into their garden. No, I'm not doing that. Everybody has to do something, but we need to pay attention to what is happening within, how we are growing. If we are using everything as a means of our growth, that is the way to go. You can be rich, you can be poor. As Sri Aurobindo says, if you are poor, you have to find the way to live the poor life with the divine light. Yeah. So to say, enjoy it in the divine sense, because the divine is present anyhow. But he was never for poverty. Even in this evening talks, we will read the ideal of poverty was never India's idea. It was always a richness of life. It was coming from the Veda. It has to, the spirit has to charge every bit of our living. So if we do that, sacrifice, as Gita Shri was saying, cooking with consciousness. Yeah? So putting consciousness into every action, eating with consciousness, cooking with yeah.
I think, Vladimir, this, rich or poor, whatever, I think this study that we do about the Vedas, Upanishads, hymns, and the understanding of these and reading every day of these, that fire, that force ignites your consciousness so much that you become aware of when you regress, you become aware mostly of most actions. And I think that is so important to stay on that path, because this knowledge is something so sacred that you give us to understand the depth of each word, each line. And we can, stay with that and move forward with that force. That force is the root.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the Rig Veda is such a gift to humanity, truly speaking. I don't know why we all didn't come to it fully, yes. But Sri Aurobindo, you know that he was translating till the last days of his life Rig Vedic verses. He already stopped even writing Savitri, but still the last mentionings in his diaries are the Vedic verses translated and commented in his way what it means in terms of experience. And if you read those passages, you will be surprised that you will never, ever gather that meaning, what he put into it from what is written. So what is written is one thing, and what experience gives you is so much different. Once you have that experience, you open another door. It's another world, altogether, which Sri Aurobindo had. And of course, it is waiting for us still to come, but we are only kind of preparing the ground for this adventure. And we will always prepare the ground. It will be always the sense of beginning a new journey every day. Mm. So these are beautiful, of course. If we dwell on them, we gather much more than just read and translate. Yeah? Can you imagine we read and translate and we understand the words, what they say, and that's it? No, it should be more than that. Each word is having some deeper meaning and connection to this vision of creation. It's all about creation and that drive in us, which we have to bring forward, that flame of the gods, the traveler of the gods in us. He is the traveler, the guest among the peoples, the immortal among mortals, with swift horses of the gods. He should prevail over all the foundations of our being. He should take charge of all the elements of our life. Okay, and there is one more. Agnim devaso manushishu vikshu, again manushishu vikshu, priyam dhu ksheshyanto namitram, ksheshyanto namitram, yeah, they are deconstructing it in this way. Sadidayat ushatich urmiya dakshayo yo dasvate dama very archaic language, very archaic words. Agnim devaso manushishu vikshu, as man who would settle in a home, bring into it a beloved friend, the gods have set the fire in these human peoples. Let him illumine the desire of the billowing nights. Let him be one full of discerning mind in the house for the giver of the sacrifice. Let him be one full of discerning mind in the house for the giver of sacrifice. So let him bring knowledge, discernment, the psychic discernment, yeah? Knowing what is true, what is divine, and what is not. Agni placed the gods in the human peoples as one places the beloved friend in their house, in one's house. He illumines the swelling with desires nights. He illumines the nights swelling with desires. I have to change. Interestingly, I will come to it in a minute. Who is to be a discerning center in the house of the worshipper? Yeah. So the gods placed him as the beloved friend in the house we place. They placed him as a beloved friend in our houses. He is there. a wanted friend, that's someone whom we love, whom we want to have relations with, whom we want to hear, to speak to feed, to take care of, yes, and so on. And he illumines the night swelling with desires. It's quite interesting. Sri Aurobindo says, let him illumine the desire of the billowing nights. Billowing is kind of swelling, yeah, growing with something. And interestingly, in the dictionary, urmiya is given also as a night, and urmi is the wave. And there are several figuratively wave of pain, of passion, grief, and there are many waves of this kind. 6 ionometer, and this is greediness and delusion of the mind, the hunger and the thirst of life, and there are others like hunger, thirst, decay, death, grief, and illusion. Now, if you look at these swellings of the night, yeah, that means night is here some part of inconscient in us, or subconscious, yeah, or ignorance, if let us say. If it is lesser night, is ignorance. If it is deeper night, that it is inconscient. So lack of consciousness. And that lack of consciousness creates movements of force which are of this kind. Yeah? Decay, death, grief, illusion. These are all deficiencies of our being and our consciousness here. So he illumines all those deficiencies. Yeah? He is here to illumine the night. He brings the light and force to see what is there. And once we have that discerning power, yeah, which is mentioned here, also interesting, discerning center in the house of the worshipper, then we know what we are. And once we know what we are, we can change. It's only when we don't know we cannot change. But if we know and we don't change, it's another matter. Either we don't have force to change, which is possible because the nature is stronger. So we also don't have to blame ourselves for that, because force is stronger. The pull of the lower nature is still there. As Sri Aurobindo beautifully describes, whenever we clean up our house with the light, with the discernment, all these, our previously cherished guests are still waiting there and behind the door. And once the house is cleaned, they're so happy to return. They feel finally we can live again. It's a young age is coming back. We can feel the pleasure of life like in the original way. So they are all waiting. The moment you cleaned your house, they are immediately there waiting to come in and to start again. And this is happening all the time. And we have to again brush them out. You know, and again they come, and again we brush, and again they come. Yes, we go for the confession on Sunday. We confess all our sins, and we are rushing to have new adventures of life to come to again to confess on Sunday. And again we rush. So this is how we do it. This is how we do it.
Well, Vladimir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Could this bellowing nights be like the symbol somehow of the blacksmith with the bellows? Because when he uses the bellows, the fire lights even more and more. It becomes stronger.
Maybe.
I mean,
Like this for the
Yes.
smith.
Blacksmith uses the bellows and the fire lights even more. And it, like here takes away the impurities to let the fire thus become more, and therefore more illumination.
Actually, I think what Gita Shri is saying is bellow, Bellow.
Yes, that's the bellow of the blacksmith.
That's a noun.
Mm.
What Sri Aurobindo is using, billow, is an adjective.
Yes, but I'm trying to just see
Yeah,
symbolism.
Yeah, you brought out a very good point, actually, bellow and billow, because both have the same result. With bellowing, you're making the fire grow bigger and bigger. And with billowing waves, the wave is becoming bigger and bigger. So the end action is the same, but the two words there's a slight difference.
Yeah.
Bellowing is most probably is the causative of billow. I do not know, but I'm guessing now, because many times causativeness is causing the to swell. Causing to swell is bellowing, whereas billowing is swelling, growing in the wave. Maybe we have to check actually the dictionary.
Cause and effect.
Yeah.
So causing to swell, and here they're swelling.
That's a very nice thing she mentions, the bellow. It's very appropriate.
Yeah. Yes, they have to swell in order for him to kind of to bring light into it, because if they're packed, like so he cannot penetrate with his light, but when they are swelling, so there is space, his light can pervade and show us exactly what is there that we know, and so we can deal with it one by one. We know what difficulties we have, but even knowing difficulties is not enough. There has to be the action upon them, kind of removing them, transforming them, and knowing is already purifying. As Sri Krishna says in the Gita, there is nothing greater force of purifying than knowledge. Knowledge is the greatest force of purification, but it's not enough, because these cherished guests are waiting, and the moment you purify, they're back even stronger. So the transformation is needed, and transformation is not easy, it seems. It requires some greater force, even supramental force. Yes. Only supramental force can change really things. Otherwise, we will be always, brooming them out, and they will come back. It will be ongoing all the time. And that's we have to be ready for. That's why we have to have a lot of patience. But slowly, step by step, we move forward. All right, we can stop here for today and come back to this. Start with this verse again. I will close with mantra. Om Vang me manasi pratisthita mano me vachi pratishthitam avira virma edi vedasyama ani sthaha shrutam me ma prahasi anena dhitena horatram samdadhami ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmamavatu tadvaktaramavatu avatu mam avatu vaktaram, avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. All right, see you next time. Yeah, bye.